Good morning children. Welcome back to Social Studies tutorial. I hope you all are well today. So students, in today's session we are going to learn about the last pillar of this chapter, water resources, because we have already learned land resources, then we have also completed soil resources. So let's learn about water resources. So students, as you all know that water is very essential for the survival of all the living beings. So the 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. 3/4 earth is covered with the water, and just because of this earth is called as blue planet or water planet. Water is of two types, salty water and fresh water. So the fresh water accounts for 2.7% only, and it mainly occurs with in the ice sheets and glaciers in the regions of Greenland, Antarctica and Arctic regions. So out of that 2.7%, only 1% is readily available for human consumption. And that fresh water, that the water is water also supports a rich variety of plants and animals, but the one of the most thing is that it is a renewable resource. Renewable, that means that can be renewed time and again. And how it is renewed? So students, you remember when I was teaching you earlier that the cyclic manner. So this one is related. When we were talking about the rock cycle, then I also gave you an example of this, that water cycle. So water is renewed through the water cycle. That what water cycle is, that how water goes upward from the surface of the earth, and how the again it comes to the earth. So there is a process of evaporation, like with the heat of sun. When there is the sun rays, there is extreme temperature, then the water gets evaporated and there is the formation of cloud, and once there is the formation of cloud, then there is a precipitation, that means there is the rainfall. Then again the water comes to the earth. So that water resource can be renewed through water cycle. Now let's talk about the uses of water. I believe it is not very difficult for you. It is very general for you to understand the uses of water, because in our day-to-day life we use the water in our different aspects of life. So what exactly water is used for? Drinking, washing, agriculture, generating electricity, industries, etc. So there are different purposes for which we use water. But though the earth is covered, 3/4 earth is covered with water, but still there is a challenges to water availability. Then what kind of challenges are there? Now let's have a look. That there is a rising demands, urbanization and increasing population. These are the major challenges before the availability of water. How these are the challenges? Because as you all know that day by day our population is increasing. So just because of fulfilling that increasing population's need, again we require water, because already I have told you the uses of water, that there are the that the water is used for drinking, washing, agriculture, industries or so on. So for fulfilling all their needs, the water is required. Then so there is a rising demands, urbanization. You also know the process of the concept of urbanization, that these days people are migrating from the rural areas towards the urban areas, either in search of jobs or for the education or some other different reasons. So just because of this urbanization, there is a process of development, and because of which there are the some infrastructural changes. There is the need of settling up of industries or so on. So urbanization also a factor or a challenge before the water availability. Then increasing population, as I told you that just because of increasing population, for satisfying all their needs like food and drinking and all, then water is required. So this is just for fulfilling their needs. There is a challenge of availability of water. So students, there are some problems of water availability, that why the water is not appropriately available. So what exactly there are like the scarcity of water in many regions in the world, like your Africa, West Asia, South Asia, parts of Western USA, Northwest Mexico, parts of South America. These are the regions where the water is not available. So there is the available in terms, there is a scarcity, that there is a shortage of water in in the proportion of the available of their population. Then there are the variation in precipitation. This is also a problem of water availability, because in our country, or what exactly, there is the variations in the amount of rainfall. So just because of just because of these variations, there is the availability problem of water, because in some regions there is the extreme rainfall which causes the flood. On the other hand, there are very less rainfall. So just because of this less amount of rainfall, these regions suffer with the droughts and all. Then overexploitation is also a major problem of water availability, because when we exploit the water just beyond our needs. So what exactly, because of this overexploitation, there is a shortage of water, and which leads to the problem of availability of water. Then contamination of water resources, this is also a problem of water availability. So now let's just after learning all these problems of availability of water, let's learn the conservation measures of water resources, that how we can conserve or utilize the water in an appropriate manner, so that there will be no problem of shortage of water or the inavailability of water. So students, now learn the ways to conserve water, or the measures to conserve water. So what exactly, the first is control of water pollution. It is very necessary for us just to control the water pollution, but how? So we have to take some of the measures just to control the water pollution by treating the effluents before discharging them into the water. Like whenever there are the biodegradable, so first we have to treat them treat those effluents before discharging them into the water, so that there will be control in water pollution. Then the next is afforestation. Afforestation, it also helps in water conservation. How it helps in water conservation? Though this is the afforestation is planting more and more trees. So what exactly that planting? By planting more and more trees, the water is available there in the ground. So the next is rainwater harvesting. In rainwater harvesting, we can also conserve the water in an appropriate manner by constructing tank or the percolation pits. Then the next is scientific methods of irrigation. This is also one of the most important way of conserving water, by using some of the scientific and regulated method of irrigation, so that there will be no wastage of water. Then the next is mulching and plugging gullies, that we have already discussed in our last session while we were completing soil, just ways to conserve soil resources. Then the next is sprinklers and drip system. So we must adopt the sprinklers and drip system, especially in the dry regions. So these are the some of the ways to conserve water. This is the completion of this chapter. I hope you all have understood this well. We'll continue, we'll start the next chapter in our next session. Till the time, stay connected, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.